Kieran, just your overall reflections on the game this evening.
Yeah, it's frustrating to go out of the competition, and of course never a nice way to go out of the competition. There were some good bits in the game, some things that we can do better for sure. We certainly had enough chances over the tie to go through, and if we were more clinical then we would have won the game. When we didn't go and get the first goal in the first half, it's really important that you don't give one away, and set pieces were always going to be the big threat tonight. So we're really disappointed to concede from that, and we need to do better just before half time. But I thought the urgency to go and chase the game in the second half was good. We had enough chances to win it for sure, and if we take one of our chances at the end, then we're saying that it was probably a good comeback win. But we still need to improve. There's no doubt about it. The group's not where we want it to be yet. And while we're still working on that, we've got to fight for the points, which continues on Sunday, and we have a lot of work to do to be the group that we want to be this year.
You say the group isn't at where it needs to be at the moment. What would the reason be for that? Is it just kind of early season things still waiting to fall into place?
I think there's a lot of different areas. We have a smaller group in depth than what we would have wanted, certainly shorter in some positions than where a team in our position would want to be. We have players coming back from big injuries who are getting their first minutes. Chio may be an easy example, but it was other boys who had surgeries and issues at the back end of last year who are sort of trying to work their way back into fitness and sharpness, but having to do it in competitive matches, which is a challenge. We've got players arriving at the club but who aren't ready to compete for us yet. We've lost a lot of players, and we've got players who want to leave the club, so we're not going to be at our best yet. But I really believe that if we work in the right way, if we take the lessons as they come, if we work day by day in the right way, then we can build a really good team again here this season. So that's what we're going to try and do.
How challenging is that for you? Obviously, relegation, you're trying to coach your team almost to play every couple of days, and then you've kind of got all this stuff going on as well. Is it you kind of almost used to it as part and parcel of football? Is that just extra challenges that make your life even more difficult with everything going on there you just mentioned?
There's no sob stories. We're blessed to be in the position that we are, but it's been a challenging summer, and for the club there's been sort of a lot of change every year, moving divisions, and a lot of change when you have a relegation season, and maybe probably especially for us with the sort of speed of that climb. So there's a lot of change and a lot of situations to manage, but that's the job. It's a privileged one, and it's up to us to do the best that we can with that, and have to keep working hard day by day and do the right things. And if we do that, then I believe again that we can build a really good team here and have a really good season.
Thank you.
That's 3 competitions in a row. Sadly, you've gone into penalties. Is there an issue? Yeah. Is it just one of those things? It's something you work on?
I think we need to reflect on it, to be fair, as a staff and as a group. We do practice our penalties. We practiced them before today. You can get tails or heads 3 times in a row. So maybe it's that, but I wouldn't like to hide behind that. I think we probably need to do a little bit better on something in our process. So it's something that we'll review, because it's 3 shootouts in a year, which isn't a lot of fun. So the next one possibly will be for the FA Cup, and I think, being honest, we need to look at our process and see if there's anything that we could possibly control in terms of things we could do differently.
You've also been delighted with the 2 boys in midfield. Cameron's first start for a while for the club, and Finn never looked like a player making his first steps in senior football.
No, they've done well. They continued how they've been all summer, really. Done well in pre-season, and Finn especially probably stepping up for the first sort of regular spell with the first team, and in a position with a lot of responsibility where we're really short at the moment, and he's took his chance as well. And Cameron, we sort of know what to expect, but still, for a young player, he still continues to impose himself well.
Can he start in the league, Cameron? Can he play a big part in the short-term future?
No, he can. Yeah, he can. I've got full belief in him that when the opportunities are there, he'll be ready to take them, and he done well the few minutes he got on the pitch on Friday night. At the same time, to be the dominant team in the division, or one of the dominant teams in the division, then we need to have real good depth and strength in that position. So we need to be in a position by the end of August where there's fierce competition and really good depth in every slot. So hopefully midfield will be no different to that, and Cameron will be there to fight for his minutes like every other player.
I believe half time was far from ideal. What exactly went on there?
I think there was an issue in the dressing room with a sewage or something like that, so we weren't able to go in the dressing room, so we had to congregate sort of outside by the bus. But it is what it is, an unusual situation, but it didn't have any impact on the game. So it's just a bit of a strange one.
Amari still missing because of the throat? Is that all that is?
No, he trained on Monday and didn't feel that he could contribute today with the situation as it is. So that was his decision, and Nathan reported sick this morning, which obviously on the day of the game is not ideal as well.
Did that disappoint you with Amari? What's the situation? Does he want to stay? Does he want to go?
No, he's made his desire, of course, to continue to play Premier League football if the opportunity is there. So, look, I think it's known how much, care that we have for Amari and empathy with him. He's a young player, 21 years old. It's not an easy situation to handle. I think there's different ways to handle a situation, but I think that seems to be more prevalent in modern football, and players get advice in different directions, and he's a very, very young player, so we have empathy with him. We'll try and guide him in the right way in terms of how to deal with situations, but of course, so long he's at the football club, we want him able to contribute and help the team on the pitch.
There's obviously Premier League interest in him. I mean, how close is that? I mean, how serious is that interest? Will he end up going?
There hasn't been anything that has changed the club's position yet. It's known that Amari had a buyout clause in his contract that was active for a few months. There was no serious or appropriate offers in that time. So once that position's closed, then it's the club's position to make the decision as they see fit. So there hasn't been any sort of interest or offers to change that position so far, so we'll see what the next few weeks brings.
Can't you just tell him he's staying? He's under contract. It's as simple as that.
I think, look, his situations are never as simple as that, and of course the club has their position, the player has their position, but it's never as straightforward, and especially when you're dealing with a young player here. So I don't think there's anything too much more to say in it. We have our position as a club. I have my position, which I've communicated with Amari around the situation, and of course he's communicated his, and we'll see what the next few weeks brings.
Just finally, you'd love to still have him here, wouldn't you? You'd love him to be a part of this season going forward.
I think that's clear and obvious.
Lovely. Thanks, Kieran.
Thank you.
Kieran, just a couple on the availabilities ones. Azul Matasi were not in the squad today. What was that one?
He had some tightness in his groins from Friday night, so not available.
And with the new signings, is it a case of wanting to give them a bit more time to bed in before putting them on the pitch?
Yeah, they need a bit more time. Neither of them have done certainly in Jens' case, any sort of a pre-season. In Chuba's case, sort of a very broken pre-season without any match minutes yet, and then very disruptive week last week, to say the least. So it would be reckless over the course of trying to have a successful season to rush them onto the pitch for tonight, and we'll have to make decisions as we go into the weekend.
Chuba, lots of interest, and you managed to beat plenty of teams seemingly to get his signature, so I must be excited with that one.
Yeah, we're happy to have him. Really good championship experience and pedigree. He's played different leagues now, picked up lots of experiences, played Champions League last year. Really versatile forward, we think can bring us a lot, and was had a really positive impact in his first couple of days around the training ground. Upbeat guy, and he's excited to be here, and we're happy to have him.
First old player, I think his best season in the Championship kind of came as a second striker. Where do you see him fitting in this group?
Yeah, I think he can do all of the roles, to be honest, across the front four. He's played wide left, he's played inside left, he's played as a centre forward, he's played as a number 10, and he's played wide right, so he can fill all of them. Of course, I've got one or two roles that I see him playing a little bit more. It's usually with us more about trying to fit the strengths of the players into the team rather than pigeonholing them into they have to be this position or that. So we know what Chuba's good at, and we're going to try and get him into those situations as often as we can.